All right, all right. What are you doing? What am I doing? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This guy's got a nice little graph here. Check this out. This is It needs a little bit of translation because of bro over here is in he's in Ireland. I learned something interesting about Ireland listening to some of the Rudolf Steiner material. They said that Ireland was a microcosm of the world. It was made that way, and it was not touched by the fall of Lucifer. And I'm like, well, that's very interesting. And Ireland has a very strange thing about it. Very mystery. Go ahead, Kitty. Yeah, go ahead. Go get some. Go get it. Go find Ghost Cat. She's looking for a ghost lover. I don't have to dream alone. Ghost lover? I don't. First, well, I kind of want to tell these stories. I heard some really good, scary stories last night. I fucking did. I sure as hell did. Um, I'll start with that. Fuck it. I don't care. Ready for it. Get ready for it. So there's this house. These people move into this house, and it's a grandma and a grandpa, and they have a grandson. The mom died, which was their daughter, in childbirth, and the grandparents adopt this kid. They move into this house, all right, and it's all cleaned up, but inside somebody left a bunch of boxes in the basement, and grandma goes down there with the grandson, starts opening the boxes. She finds a copy of a book, The Old Man from the Sea, and it was her book. Actually, it ended up being that was a copy of a book, and inside of it, it was signed. It was the grandpa sent that to the grandma. It was her stuff, lost over time, just suddenly in this box. They don't tell you that this is supposedly stuff that's left. You're kind of left thinking that maybe they have their stuff moving because you don't find your own shit at a new place. So they kind of leave the mystery to that, but I just broke that for you. Sorry. I want to make it clear. I didn't know because they didn't explain that part, but you do find out that this is supposed to be the previous owner's stuff. Now, everybody, the grandpa finds stuff of his, and the even the grandson finds some of the stuff that used to be his, some army men or something. Well, when they had the front door open, this black cat runs in, like here. So it's a black cat, green-eyed cat, and jumps on the couch, just chills the fuck out. And the grandson wants to keep the cat. Now the grandpa's like, I kind of don't want a fucking cat. The grandma's like, let it stay. It probably lived here. That's probably why, it is so comfortable and all that. Okay, so they keep the cat. The next thing happens. Are you recording this? Let me make sure. Okay, yeah. The next thing happens is at nighttime, the kids woke up. He's woke up having a nightmare. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Typical witching hour. Don't you get on that computer, girl. You better watch out where you stick your tail. You almost got, I think she's going to end up fucking that horn. Well, don't know. We're not going to make content out of that. She's like, the horn is like sticking like this up, and she just happened to be over there, and it tickled her fancy. And I saw she noticed that. So I don't want to catch that relationship evolving any further. You heard me? Oh, she's too far gone. She's in the heat again. I can't stand that. I'll pet her today, and then that's his final. I'll be cussing her the rest of the week and fighting with her to stay the fuck away from me. But other than that, anyway. So the kid wakes up, and there's a window in the room, and it's like the light's coming through the room. There's nothing there. There's a big ass shadow on the wall, on the floor. And the kid sees the shadow, sees there's nothing making the shadow that's standing there. There's a shadow there. It scares the fuck out of the kid. The cat comes in and jumps on the bed. The thing disappears. So, they're thinking, oh, the cat's doing me a service. It's running off the boogeyman. So, but this goes on every single day. They 5 days, I think they were there. They start asking around in town, who lived in this house? Because they want to know, well, why is our shit in these boxes? And the people say, oh, it was just an old man. And they couldn't get any more information than that. The next night, it's happening again. Kid wakes up at the same time. The shadow thing appears, except now there's this real coldness moving around too, I think. Now the kid's getting freaked out. Wakes up, tells grandma, and they're all starting to get freaked out because the kid ends up having these scratches on him, like these claw marks on his back the first night. Second night, might have been when the cat came. I don't know. Look, I don't know. But the claw mark doesn't. They thought it was the cat. Maybe it's the cat. Well, they call in one of the grandma has a friend that like knows spiritual and psychic shit. So they call grandma's friend. She says, "I'll come and stay." And she's checking shit out, looking around the room. She sleeps in the living room. Of course, it happens again. 3 o'clock in the morning, except the door shuts and it's locked. The kid's froze in terror and gets attacked. So they're thinking, well, this might be the cat, So they take the cat to the fucking pound. They get the cat the fuck out of there, because she said it's probably a spirit is attached to this cat. And they continue to ask people. So they're still trying to find from the community, what's up with the old man? Was something going on here? And the last night when the lady's there, the cat's gone. They took it to the vet. And on this night, the kid, wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning. The shadow things appeared on the floor, but so is the fucking cat. And it's on. It fucking locks the door on them. They're trying to get in there. The kid gets clawed, sees the claw come, claws his leg, and like cuts into his femoral artery. And the kid's gonna die. Has to go to the fucking emergency room. They barely save his life. They move the fuck out of the house. But they find out that the old man, same story. He moved in, found a bunch of his old stuff. They said he told everybody that he was finding some of his old stuff in the house, just like them, and had let in a black dog, and had a black dog come in, and it was his black dog, but he went mad and killed himself. And that's what they're dealing with. So they get the fuck out of the house. Sort of the end of the story. What's that got to do with anything? It's kind of like this. Like, if you assume things, you can't never assume anything. You know what I mean? Like, he could assume that, oh, this cat will protect me from this monster, you know, because that's what people normally think. But it was the monster. It was the monster in this case, and it was about to kill him. And they had some weird shit going on that, although it was good because it was their old stuff, you know, that was like the hook, you know. And it's sort of like with what's going on here. He's saying these certain things, and they seem to be true because we are surrounded with a lot of people. Like, you have to critically think. You do. I'm not into politics. I don't like the politics stuff at all. I don't want to be aligned with any side, but I do think it's incredibly stupid to do that, especially with like the cult way that, you know, on the left, that they just dismiss everything, and every reason I've heard for their reasons on why this or that or why they're mad about anything, it is not very smart. It's usually very stupid. And this guy says midwits, and it's not midwits. It's female mind thinking. If you're a male, and this is why they've attacked males. They say it's white males, but it's not. There's certain things I learned from my dad. My dad taught me, but it's how to think. You know, you can't let a woman think for you if you're a man. You can't. If you let a woman think for you by giving her all your thoughts, she'll just rearrange and try to control your life, control how you know. And you know, men will be that way if they don't have from their father the right teaching on how to look at stuff, because you can't be ruled by women. You can't have men who think, they think that women think completely differently, but this is not the case. They can think what they want. They still have like a bitch mind, because the woman's wallered it out with her. Like, do you know how, like, throughout history, women have always, there's always been like young teenage girls, they get in a little clique and they murder one of their friends. This has happened all the way back. If it's not the Salem witch trials, it's the creepy pasta shit. This is something that always happens, and it's because women, with their mind, try to be like men, and they overdo it, and it's very harmful because they don't know how to do it, and that's sort of another problem. But if you let them do your thinking for you, you'll get in a wreck. You may not even notice it. You're not going to be able to notice it because they don't give you the options they themselves take. When they speak with you, they only, you know, they don't want your fucking freedom, is what I'm saying. They don't want your fucking freedom of thought. They don't want none of that. They want to tell you the way shit is, and they want you to do things according to that. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work for men. It doesn't. You end up with a bunch of faggots that don't know what sex they are. They're all confused. And you end up with a lot of fucked up shit. Like these people that have taken this shit here. All the people that do the autopsies, the people that do the funeral home stuff, they said that since they've had this, there's this rubbery tube shit that's growing all inside of people's bodies. And that's what's causing the heart attacks and the myocarditis and all that shit, because they've modified the DNA. That's what the shot was. That's why it doesn't stop COVID. It doesn't stop COVID. Maybe if you're old, maybe it helped your symptoms get down, but then you're going to die anyway. You're not going to survive this. If you have the period of time of life for this shit to grow inside of you, And they're like, they've never had to deal with it before because they have to pump out all the blood in your body. So they're finding all this fucking tube shit. Another thing that's disturbing is somebody went in with some, I don't know, some type of, I think it's, I don't know, some scanners for like signal shit. They go to the graves of people that have had the shot and have died, and they're putting out a signal. They're still putting out a signal from their grave that is transmitting and doing shit. Now that creeped me the fuck out. I don't know about you. I mean, I guess you could be cremated and you wouldn't have to worry about that. You know, that's one option. But I mean, I don't have to worry about it. I didn't get the shot, so I don't have to worry about it. There was no way I was going to ever do that. There was no way I was going to ever do that. There was no way. That's not a vaccine in the same way. That's not a fucking vaccine in the same way at all. That's a modified, that makes you not a human. If you change your DNA, you're not a human. And you wouldn't be able to operate your body according to, what I understand to be some of the old school body of light, astral body, mystery school shit. And they know that. That was the point. And, always thought that. But, I mean, there's stuff you can do for it. I mean, I'm just saying, this happened recently to a friend of mine disappeared bear. And I finally called his old lady. And I was like, what's going on with him? Oh, he's real sick. He's real sick. He's lost a lot of weight. I was like, yeah. I was wondering what happened to him. She's like, well, I got him the shot. Oh, you did, huh? And everybody's stupid. We're all stupid because we're not getting vaccinated. Like, she totally fell back into, because she's real smart, but she's very controlling, and she pretends to be dumb. But, she is some degree smart. She's a twin. Her twin sister is a fucking eye surgeon. You can't really be an eye surgeon if you're stupid. But, like, she's been waiting for him to die because she's going to get some benefits from it for quite a while. There was one time I had to tell him, I was like, dude, don't take what they're giving you. Don't take that. It's going to kill you. Don't do it. And he came back. It worked. This time it's not going to be that way because he did marry this woman. It's up to her. She's going to kill him. He's going to die. It'll probably be soon. It's sad. I mean, I can't intervene any more than that. But I told my friends who I did extend my friends to him, and one of them, because she ran into the friend at the store, and then just bitched about the kid. Her kids are going to get all the other kids sick. I was like, shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch. You're fucking that has nothing to do with what you're talking about. You're going on a rant because you're afraid you're going to fucking not get what you know what you're after. And I told her, I was like, well, if you want him to be better, give him ivermectin. That shit's great. Everybody fucking trips on the ivermectin. I got some of that shit. That shit was great. Whatever parasites or shit that is already going on with you, it wouldn't even hurt you to get some of that and take it once a month. A little paste. Just put it in your fucking mouth. The apple flavored. You can get it on Amazon. And when you'll shit out this gritty stuff that you need out. You don't want it in you. It's that simple. You don't think there's fucking parasites and shit in you that affect you? What are you, stupid? I mean, this is the type of critical thinking that people need, or they're not having. They don't want to have these discussions. They can't have them. But it's when it's the female thinking that is introduced to the men who are smart. Men who are smart. They're not dumb. They know. They could know. But if they go on that journey, the disapproval rate and the they've never been able. They're not. You have to be prepared to buck against that, because women are always going to tell you dumb stuff. Just sometimes you're not going to. If you don't have the training to know to continue to buck against it, and you just went with it, then you would be fucked. But men will fuck the rest of the society up, at least the ones that are fucked like that, because they won't want to look at anything. They'll want everything to stay fucked up. They'll leave the border open and just not talk about it. Act like we're all racist because we don't want people to be fucking illegally entering the country, so we're all racist. And these are things you could think out. You could discuss and you could think out. It's not political. It isn't, really isn't. It's become political because whoever's controlling the shit garners up people in different ways. And the people that are on the right more or whatever, I'm not going to claim to be that. I want to stay in the middle. I want to stay in the middle, so I'm not going to. This is why we're still able to critique and be pissed off while having voted for the guy. And nobody bitched or complained about Biden. Nobody said a fucking word. They knew that motherfucker wasn't right. They never said a word. See, that's a symptom of that female mind thinking. A man would tell you, "Hey, dude, you don't look so good," but they can't because they'll be ostracized. And once you're ostracized from that position, you won't be able to come back. They can't have that. They can't have it. It's not like they're not capable of it. They are, but they're not trained to do it. It doesn't appear to them to be a thing. So it's not politics. It has to do with critical thinking. And if you really want to critical think about something, you have to be able to not be emotional. So emotional that you get so upset and you don't want to hear anymore. Because what you're really getting emotional about is that you'll be fucking excommunicated by your peers, by the people that you think are your friends that really aren't. And if you have a bunch of women telling you stuff, you're supposed to bring, you're not really serving them by doing that. You're supposed to be bringing back something that but because it's not comfortable, it will cause you to have to break the paradigm. You're kind of trapped there, but you don't have to be. But it's going to kill you. That shit's going to kill you. They see that rate of death? That rate of death's going up. That's 30 million people already died. 30 million people died from that medicine. That any other time in history they'd have taken that shit the fuck off the shelf. But you have to critically look at that shit and be like, well, then what's really going on with it? And do you think that you think it's natural? Ask yourself that. If you think it's natural, that's another one you need to come. I don't think that was natural at all. Clearly they made it. So, I mean, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this anymore because I got in trouble before at the different times saying it. But that's true. You can't. Don't let yourself go too far. And don't be on any of these political parties. Decide what you want for yourself. I don't know if I don't know if the Democrats party will ever come back to being able to be they didn't used to be as bad as they were. But now it's like, it's all the trans stuff. It's like, cut off the genitals of kids. It's gone so far crazy and psychotic. I really don't know how you could support that. Because you have to support all of it. Or you're not on the team. You have to be okay with that. Personally, I don't think you come into life without knowing who your parents are going to be. I think you choose before you come to Earth. That's my personal thing. You don't have to believe that. You don't have to believe that, but I mean to be mad at God, which technically from your point of view shouldn't exist. That's a little bullshit of a way of statement, because how do you become uncomfortable in your own body? How can you be uncomfortable? Somebody has to make you feel that way. It's not natural. Somebody has to peer pressure you into thinking that you're a little boy that should be a little girl. And that's classically what's going on in almost all the cases. And a lady that's doing some sort of therapy said that when she was going into the school and doing some sort of training, that the way that they're teaching them is like they're telling men, well, start wearing dresses and stuff like that, and because we want to gender fuck, which means fuck the whole thing up, because they're wanting to attack the old way of doing shit just because they want to, because they don't like it and they have their own beef with it. It has nothing to do with I feel like I'm a woman and I'm trapped in this thing. They're doing it as a activism movement, and it was wrote in a manual to do that, and that's how they're doing it. And since she bucked against it, she got kicked out. So it's all psyop and mind control shit, and it's all to get you not to think about stuff and to go along with what reasons they tell you, and they're all bullshit. They're all bullshit. Look at the why they're not bitching about the climate anymore in the same way, because it just transforms into the next thing. And they can't win that argument because the historical ice cores show that the climate fluctuates. We're in a low period. We're not overheated at all. At all. We're technically in an ice age. It's been a lot hotter in the past, and there wasn't no SUVs then. So the climate's not being affected in the way that they're saying it is. It's not. And mostly anything from the climate is affected by the sun causes the climates to be what they are over time. There's nothing you're going to do to change that. It's stupid. It's really dumb. They pretend to be smart and they're stupid. And if you look at the evidence, you see how stupid it is. But like, you get a mob of people saying the same stupid thing, just like Hitler said. Could lie, if you lie and lie again, if the lie becomes true. So I mean, why would you not want to look at what the actual science says? It's all over the place, and because it's not about ever. They're not interested in the truth. They're not interested at all. People that are interested in the truth will look into stuff, and they'll listen, and they'll talk to people. And that's not what they do. They yell and they scream, and they throw fits, and they tear the city down. They burn shit up, and that should tell you that that's stupid. Why would you burn your own city up? I'm going to burn my own house down to protest. That's. I'm going to burn my own city down. So it's been a scam after a scam after a scam after a scam after a scam. So why buy it? Why buy it anymore? The product's bad.
Also further along the red line towards the crossover point. So don't get in the way of, what they always say, never get in the way of your enemy making a mistake. And then we will have a return to social sanity. So look at this graph and listen to what I'm saying, okay? The ones who have made our lives miserable have been the midwits. The midwits are the vanguards of the establishment who locked us down, flooded our countries with mass immigration, killed Harvey Thompson, I think the lad's name was. Now also, when Simon Harris, a typical midwit tactic is, when they're losing, is they try to elicit sympathy. Like, they try to get people to feel sorry for them. And that's what happened Harris. And they try to fool people at first, but if they can't do a smug laugh thing, they will do something like try to win popular favour. Now, after that young lad Harvey died, and there was righteous anger, which still exists in this country at the moment, what he did was show up at the Oasis concert in Dublin in a PR event with the Oasis cap, those caps on his head, thinking he would win this sheeple back. It didn't work. So his next one is, he's now saying the far right, their imaginary far right. The far right is basically the bogeyman, the imaginary bogeyman of the midwit, and saying that they threatened his family. It's all lies. He's a liar. It's not true. He's pulled this one out of.
It's true. This is true. I haven't had that much experience. There's a little bit of experience that I've had will be like, uh, because I'm not programmed under the same way. So I'll do something, because I won't know if I try to like interact or do something like that, and then they laugh like, and I'm like, what the fuck's so funny? What is so funny? There's never an answer. I mean, I won't be shamed for thinking or trying to move around or know something I don't know. So if that's funny, why is it funny that I'm trying to figure out something I don't know? Maybe I've never been here. Maybe this is new. Why is that funny? I'm just supposed to know. How am I supposed to just know? What am I supposed to be programmed to just know this? Know what is funny about that? And it's not funny. But see, there was a skit on this. Oh man, I can't remember where it was, but it was real funny. I think it was a Key and Peele skit, but it was something like that where the guy would be like, and the other person would be like, what's so fucking funny? And then got everybody to stop laughing with the guy, and that ended it. It was kind of like the way it is because I've had a limited experience of that. But if you break mind control, everybody has a little bit of it. There's not an expectation of being, you can help the people break the mind control that have the mind control. You don't you don't have to. It's not there. You don't have to attack them. See, that's the thing about the male mind. That if you got this from if your father taught you how to think, you learned that, you get that, you need that, then you won't have to attack the person. You'll understand why, and you'll be able to navigate around it. And if you do right, men will follow you the way that you'll go because you'll be able to go right. It doesn't have anything to do with any ideology, any fucking bullshit. This is just as practical, pragmatic as you can get, boiling it down. Because I'm not far right. Like I fucking try to be in the fucking middle. I have more crazy shit that I want to do, drugs and stuff like that. I don't fit in with the conservatives. I like drugs, motherfucker. But I do like family. And although my belief in God has changed from what it was in church, I'm not going to laugh at somebody for going to church or tell them they're stupid. How could I do that? I mean, I didn't end up staying and going to church because I don't think it's worth the fuck. But I have a relationship with my higher self, and I believe in it, and I believe in that I've been fucking. This ain't my first rodeo on an existing incarnation. And I don't know if I know anybody that would be like a first round human. I don't even know if we have any here. But who knows?
The bag before, and no proof was offered because there is none, and he would lie if there was any anyway. That's his fallback plan. That's his midwit fallback plan. The midwit who buys the biggest house in the suburbs. He shows off his neighbours his new deck, all a house all kitted out with all the flash furniture. Then something happens, an economic downturn, and then he wants everyone to feel sorry for him. While he was laughing at the guy down the road who lived in a shitty shack and didn't go out and spend all his money in designer furniture. Mm-hmm. And then he'll want sympathy from the person he mocked. And this is what the midwit is like. When the midwit is destroyed and wiped off the face of the earth, like the Witch King of Agmar and the Dark Riders, they return to the abyss. The abyss is nothing. That's what the abyss is. The abyss is a place of nothing, okay? Nothingness. Because they're human embodiments of the abyss. They are the abyss made manifest in the form of humans, of Homo sapiens. They return to the abyss, nothingness, oblivion. There's no reincarnation for them. There's nothing. This is why they all pretend to be like atheists until something goes wrong, and then the last refuge of scoundrel is prayer. So remember this: the midwit extinction terminator is rapidly coming. Because now I'll give you an example of something how it happened in real life. In the 2016, one of the most remarkable events, and I believe it was a supernatural event. It was intervention of kinds. Whereas Hillary Clinton was winning the U.S. election like this, and Donald Trump was coming down. She started the policing, and at 3:30 a.m. in the morning, I'll never forget this. Donald Trump started winning, and she started to go into the abyss. And it was one of the most pivotal points in history, because there was a. I'm not saying Trump was chosen by God. Remember, it's the ordinary people voting in America going, I want my country back. I don't want woke. I don't want taking the knee. I don't want all this. I want my country back. I don't want woke. I'm not what the America I grew up. The same thing will happen in Ireland. Our 3:30 a.m. moment, and in your country, Britain, is the midweek extinction terminator, when they all die when they all start dying at such an exponential rate from the needlecraft, that the ones who didn't take the needlecraft, the street smart working classes, and the highly educated.
So, see, the same thing. So you don't have to attack anybody. You can do, if you think and you know how to reintroduce some male critical thinking in response to a lot of the programmed bullshit, then, I mean, I don't give a fuck about the president. I don't care about that. I want the people to think. If the people can think and the votes matter, then, then you have a democracy. But we don't. We have an oligarchy and a constitutional republic. But whatever. That's beside the point. But that's just food for thought. Enjoy.